Today I want to talk to you about succession sowing in the kitchen garden, or in the way I like to say it, just continuously planting more. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video, so let's plant some more. Sound good? Let's do it. Hey there, I am Nicole Burke. I'm the author of Kitchen Garden Revival and the founder of Gardenary. I'm on a mission to make gardening an ordinary part of everybody's life, especially yours. So thanks so much for being part of the Gardenary community. Please subscribe to the channel and tell all your friends to join us. Today I want to talk about never stopping sowing, never stopping planting in the kitchen garden. So I try to make it my goal to plant seeds in my garden every single week as soon as I'm able to. So I started planting seeds in this garden at probably it's like the middle of March, or maybe even like the second week of March. And it's now May and I'm still planting seeds. So today I'm going to talk to you about the idea, the fancy gardeners, they like to call it succession sowing, but I just call it never stop planting. When I come into the kitchen garden, when I come into a bed and I see open spaces, that to me is a telltale sign that it is time to add some more seed. So right now, if you haven't seen, we actually did a video a couple days ago about when to call it quits. So I had some cabbages in this bed. Here's one remaining. I'm letting one stay. I'm just kind of being nice to her, but she's probably going to go too. But I took out some cabbages that just weren't performing. And I said I wanted to make sure that I had room for things that were more important. So I know that I'm going to keep space in here in some of these bigger spots for warm season plants, because I'm going to be able to plant peppers, eggplants, tomatoes, things like that in just literally a matter of days. However, I still see some blank spaces in between my lettuces. So I have this Rocky Top lettuce mix that's coming up really well. It's finally almost ready to harvest. These leaves are about 2 inches, 3 inches, maybe 2, yeah. 2 inches long at this point, so not quite ready to harvest. I can definitely eat it, but it's gonna be better if I let it grow a little bit more. But you can see I have a lot of bare soil around it, and bare soil is no bueno. I don't wanna have bare soil. So one of the reasons I have bare soil in these beds is I actually made a mistake. Can y'all believe it? And I put too much soil on the top of this bed as I was preparing the soil for spring. So I kind of mounded it in the middle. And so what's happened throughout the season is every time I come in here and water, stuff just like rolls off and like dirt goes out of the garden. So I think I've lost a lot of seeds to that reason. Whatever the reason is, when I see blank spaces, it's always a sign to me to sow again. So if you hear a fancy gardener say succession sowing, the idea is that you plant a seed, you let a couple weeks pass, and then you plant the same kind of seed close or nearby, so that, sorry, I got this lettuce in my mouth, so that as time goes on, you have the successive harvesting. So for instance, if you did bush beans are a great one for successive sowing, where you'd plant it, they're gonna be about a 60-day time frame. So you'd plant it, and then about 2 or 3 weeks later, you'd plant more bush beans. And then what would happen is in 60 days, you'll be harvesting the first set of beans. And then in, what would that be, like 80 days, you'd be harvesting the next set of beans. And then in 100 days, you'd be harvesting the next set of beans. So you can do succession sowing with almost any kind of plant that you plant from seed. I typically don't do it with my larger plants. If you haven't seen the video about whether to plant from plant or seed, you can check that out on our channel. But lettuce is definitely something I plant from seed, so it's a fantastic thing to never stop planting. So I've got this Marvel of 4 Seasons. It's not the exact same mix as what I have here, but it'll go really well because it's a similar type of plant. So I'm just gonna take my dibber and make a little line in this blank spot where there's literally nothing growing. There's no reason to not have seed here. And I'm just gonna take the lettuce seed and just scatter it right there in that little hole. And then I'm gonna do another one right here and do the same thing and just scatter it. And then one more. You can see I have some carrot seed there, but like I told you, I kind of messed up and mounded the soil too much. So I think a lot of my carrots have fallen off the side of the bed, my friends. So that's it. That's literally as simple as it is. So if these were bush beans or if these were radishes or peas, that literally is what successive sowing means. So it means just coming alongside a place where I know, let's say a week from now, I'm going to be able to harvest this lettuce. And then the plan would be that, 40 days, 50 days from now, I'll be able to harvest this lettuce, probably right around the same time that this lettuce has gotten a little tired. So succession sowing is a y'all, I almost said fantastic. It's a fantastic thing to do in the kitchen garden to ensure that you get a lot of harvest. The one thing that you want to be sure of when you're doing succession sowing is that there's enough time left in that season to get the harvest you want. So for instance, yeah, I still have this piece of lettuce in my mouth. For instance, with lettuce here, I know that lettuce likes cooler weather, right? So if I was about to hit, say, 90 degrees, I'm not going to be successive sowing this lettuce because I know it's not going to have long enough in a cool enough climate to finish up. But here in the Chicago area, I know that pretty much the month of May and the month of June are both pretty cool. And so I know I've got at least 60 days for this lettuce to grow up and be ready to harvest. So when you're deciding whether you're going to successive sow or not, first check out what kind of plant you're growing, what temperatures it prefers to grow in, and then figure out how many days you've got left in that temperature range. And as long as you've got the right amount of days left to be able to fit that plant in the garden and let it finish growing, then you should successive sow. So like I mentioned, some of my favorites to successive sow or never stop planting are radishes, peas, beans, of course, lettuces, arugula, any kind of green really, even like especially small greens. And then also you can do the same with, say, cucumbers. Cucumbers are a good thing to successive sow, especially if you have a long, warm season. So that, my friends, is what successive sowing means. It sounds complicated and obviously hard to say, but it basically means just keep planting. Never stop planting those seeds, okay? All right, I hope this inspires you. If you've got questions about successive sowing or really anything about the kitchen garden, let me know in the comments below, and I would love to hear about your success with successive sowing. By the way, the other seeds I added here were romaine cos seeds too. All right, here's to you and lots of your success with successive sowing. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.